Welcome to Talk with Healthcare Heroes, episode 40, presented by Medical Crib. Today I have with me Dr. Sharath, who is a principal consultant of pulmonology at Max Vaishali. He has an immense experience of 13 years. He'll be talking about respiratory care during winters. As the AQI increases to more than 800 in Delhi NCR, here are some tips from him how to take care of your respiratory health during winter and in this time of smoke. So tune in. Welcome to Talk with Healthcare Heroes, episode 14. Today I have with me Dr. Sharath Joshi, who is a principal consultant at Max Vaishali of Pulmonology team. I want to welcome you, sir, to this talk show of Medical Grip. Today, the topic of talk is respiratory care during winters. As we see the increase in air pollution, we have seen the reports which says that air quality index is increasing, which also we have seen the categories that if it is more than 500, it comes in the severe category. And in Delhi NCR, we see that it is touched to 800 to 900, the air quality index, which definitely affects the healthy people as well and the people who have existing disease. And we also see that there is an increase in admission in the hospital with people who has respiratory distress. So we are going to talk about what are the respiratory care that we can take during this air pollution, smoke, and the winter care which we can take. Dr. Sharath, I want to ask you that how does this air pollution affect the respiratory system?
All right. So, Nancy, we have to understand what actually the air pollution is. We do call it's a single problem pollution. But when we talk about quality of air, there are particulate material, there are chemical gases, and there is component of fog. So there are different portions of it. There are 100 different items which are actually making this smog, which is covering the entire NCR. So the major problem is because of the chemical gases which are included in this, and that is originated from the combustion of fuel as well as from burning of the crop waste. And then there are particulate materials. So particulate material, when we talk, there is particulate PM 2.5, PM10, PM1. So PM10 is little larger. They get trapped inside the nasal mucosa and the mucosa of the sinuses. But PM 2.5 are respirable particles. So these particles we do get them inhaled, they go into lungs, they affect the alveoli, they actually just cheat our defense system of the lungs. And PM1 is so small that it can even cross the barrier through the blood and it can reach up to the placenta and it can affect the newborn baby inside the womb. So particulate material, this is one threat which is affecting lungs. It is also PM1, which is crossing the blood-brain barrier and is responsible for a stroke and other brain manifestation of pollution. So the particulate dust is one component. The other components like oxides of the sulfur and nitrogen and methane and all these components, they are not only pollutant and they give long-term bad effects to the lung. They also few of the components do cause cancer in the body. So these are multifactorial. The other thing is that polyhydrocarbons, which come from combustion of fossil fuel. That is also one very important component, and that actually causes cancer, cancer of lung, cancer of pharynx, cancer of other body parts, including stomach and bladder. So pollution is not only causing chronic lung diseases, it is not only worsening asthma, it is actually affecting the entire body system. It is affecting multiple body organs, and it is also affecting the upcoming generations.
Yeah. So can you be specific, like what are the respiratory problems if we inhale this air pollution?
So if we see that, look, the mother nature has given almost 10 plus defense to our body and our lung systems, our respiratory system. So there is mucociliary clearance, there is a cough reflex, then there are defense cells and white body cells and alveolar macrophages, and they all contribute to defense of the respiratory system. But unfortunately, because of pollution, The respiratory system is overwhelmed. The mucociliary clearance is totally gone. The body, the alveolar macrophages, they are overwhelmed with the amount of exposure, and they cause irritation of the mucosa. They cause hypersecretion. They precipitate asthma. They worsen asthma-like symptoms. And on a chronic basis, if you are exposed to such pollution for a long term, definitely chronic obstructive pulmonary disease is eventually going to happen, which is a non-reversible, progressive, limiting, crippling disease of the lungs. All right. So if we start from eyes, because the present AQI of the NCR is going around 800 and plus, which causes burning of eyes. If you are exposed, you are standing on a traffic junction for even 10 minutes, you will feel the burning in your eyes. Your nose will start running. So these are mucociliary irritations which are causing it. All right. So this is one early effect of it. Then there are other things which are actually making trouble. That asthma is precipitated. The patients who are suffering from chronic lung disease, they are also very highly susceptible for such ill effects of the pollution. Right. So controlling asthma, usually the people or the patients who require just 1 or 2 inhalers once in a while, they have to take their inhalers more regularly. This is how it is worsening the asthma, severity of asthma, and then controlling asthma becomes very, very difficult. In a long term, it causes chronic COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. It causes lung cancer as well. Unfortunately, if we see the last 5 years data of lung cancer prevalence, you will be surprised to know that the lung cancer is getting more and more prevalent in non-smokers. There are female and children which are more affected by this pollution. And that is the reason that we are seeing more often the lung cancer in non-smoker females. So these are really troublesome things which are coming up with the pollution.
So what type of smoke is harmful?
So we cannot grade the types of pollution, right? So we cannot categorize that if you burn dry leaves, it's not affecting the lung. And if you burn the dry waste of the stationery shop, it's going to affect the lungs. No, all kind of smoke, anything which is not in a normal ratio in the air is definitely hazardous, is definitely a pollution. And that has some or the other health consequences. So any component which is not a normal constituent of a normal air, so we cannot categorize that this kind of smoke is more dangerous. But definitely during the winter season, the kind of smoke we get because of the crop burning, waste of the crop which is burned in the nearby states, which is affecting and which is getting a large number of toll on the life and human suffering.
So what are the symptoms that we see while inhaling this poor quality of air?
Look, if we compare the quality of air, we used to see while during the start of March, when in the third week of March, when we were facing the lockdown, you can very well remember that we were seeing a bright sunshine with a blue sky. And now you see that the sky is totally gray. Even the plantation in the NCR, their leaves, which used to look lush green, now they are looking dull green because of there is a dense coating of particulate material over them. Right. So the symptoms, the early symptoms will be burning of eyes, burning of nose, irritation in throat, a lot of coughing, and which will be most of the time dry cough. Or even if you bring out some phlegm or sputum, it will be gray colored or dark black colored. So these are very early symptoms. That shows that you are actually inhaling a polluted air, which contains lot of pollutants, lot of particulate material, and this is just early beginning. And if you are exposed to such quality of air for long, definitely it's going to give you breathing trouble. There are so many people who come to our OPD clinics, in chest clinics, and they complain that they were completely fit and fine. They were fighting fit just before the start of such an AQI. And now they feel suffocation. So there is a chest tightness, there is wheezing, there is a lot of respiratory secretions they get, there is a lot of dry cough they get. and most of the time there is a continuous irritation in the throat, and breathing has become labored or troublesome.
Yeah. So we have talked about the problem, sir. So how can we detox the lungs?
So if you compare it with the intake of water and intake of air, you know that there were hundreds of waterborne diseases. And then we came up with the idea of RO water, and water filtered with reverse osmosis, a water which is filtered with UV light, a water which is purified with boiling or chemical treatment. But the problem with air is almost 100 times to this or more than that, because a normal healthy adult male consumes almost 4 to 5 liter of water. So he just need 4 to 5 liter of drinking water in 24 hours. But the problem with the air is that with every single breath, you inhale 500 ml of air. And in 1 minute, you are breathing 16 times. So in 1 hour, you are actually inhaling around 1500 liter of air. So definitely for a person or for an individual, you cannot have an air purifier, which will directly deliver such a purified air to you, right? So that is the reason that this is an enormous burden on the health system. This is an enormous burden because purifying 5 liter of water for one individual is a small task. You have to make it 1,000 times for air, which is a huge task. You can't do it. So first and foremost thing will always be prevention. We should not make our own air poisonous. So prevention of pollution is the first thing. We have the pollution control board. We have people or the authorities who check the quality of exhaust from the vehicles. We have green corridors. We have everything for it. But even despite of lot of laws and regulations, every individual has to be aware of it and then contribute something to make our air clean or keep it free of pollution. That will be the first and foremost thing. The other thing to actually detox your lungs will definitely be a healthy diet, plenty of fluids and antioxidants. And when we talk about antioxidants, that will definitely include green leafy vegetables and fresh fruits and a lot of juices. So these antioxidants will prevent the hazardous effects of chemical which we are inhaling, which are causing a lot of inflammation in the lungs. So they will only reduce the inflammation. All right. But the primary task will still be there to prevent the occurrence of such a pollution. And when we talk about a lot of plenty of fluid, breathing fresh air, keeping the air purifiers at home, a lot of curtains at the on the windows so that they can filter the particulate material. These are secondary attempts and they are very less effective. All right, because the problem is very, very huge.
So to the audience out there, what is the respiratory care that they can take while during this time, as in winter or when the air pollution AQI is increasing?
So there are few very small steps. One is prepare yourself for the winters. Prepare a diet chart, which includes the balanced diet, which includes the exact ratio of carbohydrate, protein, and fat, and multivitamins and minerals in your diet, which are naturally provided rather than chemically provided by certain medicines or drugs. One thing. Second thing, plenty of fluid, plenty of fruits, plenty of antioxidants and juices. All right. Then there comes the role of regular breathing exercise. So I will definitely not suggest you to venture out of your house and in such a bad air quality and go for jogging for 5 miles. Then you will be inhaling the entire air pollution inside your lungs. So rather it is better you stay back in your home, you put on the air purifier in your bedroom and you do yoga or deep breathing exercises or pranayam. And if you can afford, definitely you can have cardio or treadmill at your home so that you are physically fit to counteract or to cope up with such a threat or such a attack by the pollution on your lungs and other body systems, right? The other thing which is very important for the patients who are already suffering from lung diseases or who have some chronic lung condition like ILD or COPD or asthma patient or old patients who had recurrent pneumonias, or such patients should get their vaccinations at time. So their schedule should be followed very strictly. And we suggest mostly to adult vaccination, we suggest one is pneumococcal vaccine and the other is a flu vaccine. And flu vaccine, the schedule is once a year, and the pneumococcal vaccine is five yearly. So we suggest one vaccine in every 5 years. So that vaccination should be completed. Breathing exercises should be done regularly. Uh, uh, General exercises to keep your all muscles in action and in activity, and then definitely a nutritional point should be taken care of.
Sir, yes, because of COVID, everybody is wearing mask and not wearing mask also. So, do you suggest a mask to be worn during this time?
Certainly, because this one thing or one step, wearing a proper mask is going to save you from multiple troubles. One of them is the bigger trouble like COVID, which is a pandemic, which has already claimed more than 13 lakh lives across the globe.
Yeah.
A disease, a virus, a small virus, which is not even visible with naked eye, has claimed more than 13 lakh most intelligent creature on the earth.
Yeah.
So you can't neglify it. You just can't ignore this problem. It's a very big problem. So this mask, which is preventing you from such a menace, and this same mask is protecting you from the pollution. So why not to invest in such a mask which protects you from pollution, which protects you from COVID? So by taking one step, you are saving your lungs from 100 troubles, right? You are saving your lungs from getting breathing problems. You are saving your lungs being exposed to pollutions and lot of 100 chemicals which are causing long-term effects, and they can actually cause cancer. And you are protecting your life from COVID and such. And it's not only COVID. It's preventing tuberculosis. It is preventing lot of 100 communicable lung diseases. So single mask is giving you 100 benefits. What is the harm in wearing it and following it strictly? It's a blessing in disguise. So if all the people are following the protocol of wearing a mask, they are actually doing a good service to the mankind, not only themselves. So I will definitely through your this portal will emphasize on it that everybody should wear a good quality mask, and they can actually save trouble for others and for themselves. And just one step, and there are 100 benefits.
Sir, you have already told. To be more specific, is it okay to go for walking in this poor quality air? What do you suggest, sir?
I will not suggest so, because the entire motive behind the jogging outdoors or going for a brisk walk in the morning hours is to keep yourself fit, right? And the problem out in such a bad AQI is actually inviting the trouble. It's not going to make you fit. It's going to give you troubles. It's going to actually worsen your health. So the entire motive of going out and for the health purposes is actually defeated. So it's better to stay indoor, do breathing exercises, practice some yoga, do some cardio exercises. There are 100,000 videos available on internet for Zumba and other physical activities. You can follow anything that will keep you fit, that will protect you, that will make you healthier, rather than venturing out in such a AQI outside. That is just like inviting the trouble.
Sir, I've done with my questions. So, what is the takeaway message you would like to convey to the people out there?
Look, the baseline will remain same: healthy diet, healthy food, healthy drinks, juices, fruits. Nothing can deny it. Then keeping a general uh, well-being. So being physically active, keeping your all muscles active and competent, and doing breathing exercises, but definitely avoiding AQI going out. And first, foremost thing, mask. Whatever it is, whether it is COVID or pollution or other respiratory infections, mask is a must. In my chronic patients, in my long-term respiratory patients, patients who are on domiciliary oxygen, patients who are using oxygen at home because of their respiratory conditions for many years, if they, and the patient who are exhausted of the drugs and the treatment options, when they come to my OPD and ask what further can be done, I just tell them to avoid staying in NCR. I just tell them if they can avoid being in NCR, if they can go out in the fresh areas or other areas of the country where the air quality is better. So I am sure that the billions of people, the millions of people who are staying in NCR, they cannot walk away from NCR like this. So it's better to prevent pollution, and whatever steps you can take, and definitely mask is a must, and that's your friend nowadays. Right?
Thank you, Dr. Sharad, for joining in. And I hope all who are watching us, please share this video. Follow us on Medical Crib, our Facebook page and YouTube. And also, like it has been said, that be safe and take proper precautions. Thank you for joining in.
Thank you.